Have you ever been left behind by someone you gave your heart to? Not with a goodbye filled with gratitude, but with silence, indifference, even arrogance. They walked away like you meant nothing, and deep inside you promised yourself one thing: they'll regret losing me, and I won't have to say a single word. This isn't revenge, this is emotional mastery. This is silent power. This is how you love smart and walk away like a storm they'll never forget. Part 1. You don't beg, you build. Let them go. Seriously, let them. Because anyone who truly saw your worth would have never made you question it in the first place. You don't need to beg to be seen. You don't need to explain your heart to someone who was blind to it. And you definitely don't need to chase love that walks away when it's inconvenient. Why? Because real strength isn't found in pleading or proving. It's found in your stillness, in your silence, in the way you build when they expect you to break. You don't get back at someone by texting paragraphs they'll never understand. You don't seek revenge by wearing your pain on your sleeve. You rise, quietly, powerfully, intentionally. You take every piece of that hurt, every unanswered question, every sleepless night, and you convert it into fuel. Fuel for your body, fuel for your vision, fuel for becoming someone who doesn't just move on but levels up in ways they never saw coming. Hit the gym, not to impress but to rebuild. Dive into your purpose, not to distract but to align. Become so centered in peace, power and presence that their memory of you becomes a bittersweet ache they carry in silence. Because the truth is, they won't regret the words you could have said. They'll regret the version of you they'll never get to know. The version who chose growth over grief, purpose over pain, power over pursuit. You don't win by chasing. You win by becoming, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you are always more than enough. Part 2. Shift your energy, not your words. If you really want them to feel your absence, don't waste your breath trying to be understood. Don't craft the perfect message, hoping they'll finally get it. Because some people won't understand your worth until you stop handing it to them. So stop explaining, stop watching their stories like it means something. Stop wondering if they're thinking of you. That energy, it's sacred, and it's time to take it back. The most powerful shift doesn't happen in your words, it happens in your silence, your detachment, your quiet decision to live well with or without them. When you stop showing your presence, your absence becomes louder than any speech ever could. It becomes a mirror, a reminder of what they had and let go of. But don't pull away like a storm. Don't make it dramatic. Withdraw your energy like the ocean retreats from the shore, slowly, gracefully, with dignity. Keep showing up in your own life, for your goals, your passions, your peace, and without warning, one day, they'll go looking for the version of you that used to orbit around them, and they won't find you, not because you're hiding, but because you've evolved. You're not punishing them, you're protecting your soul, you're transforming. You've stopped trying to be memorable to someone who forgot how to value you, and that decision, quiet, firm, grounded, will echo louder than any argument or goodbye. So don't shift your words to explain your worth. Shift your energy, because the real power is not in being loud, it's in being gone. Part 3. The power of silence and glow up. Silence isn't weakness, it's emotional discipline, and emotional discipline is rare in a world addicted to attention. They expected a breakdown. You gave them breakthrough. They expected crying. You gave them confidence. They expected drama. You gave them distance. Work on your body, your skin, your goals, your life, not to show them you're better, but because you are, and you were always meant to evolve past the people who couldn't handle your heart. Trust me, nothing haunts someone more than seeing you happy without them. Part 4. Emotional mastery is the real flex. Imagine they run into you months later, but you're not bitter, you're not cold, you're not trying to prove a point, you're just calm. Not the kind of calm you fake to seem strong, not the calm that's wrapped in silent anger, but real calm, peaceful, healed, unbothered. That's emotional mastery. It's when your healing is no longer a performance but a reality. It's when you no longer look for closure. You don't need revenge or validation or even an apology, because your peace speaks louder than their absence ever did. The truth is, some people don't come back because they miss you. They come back because they miss the version of you they could manipulate. They miss the access they once had, the control, the emotional hold, but that version of you, gone, grown, evolved. This time, you won't even have to say no, because they'll see the distance in your eyes, the clarity in your silence, the strength in your softness. They'll feel it, the emotional boundary you never had before, and it will make them uncomfortable, not because you've become cruel, but because you've become unreachable in all the places they once held power. And in that moment, they'll realize they can't go back to how things were. Not because you punished them, but because you outgrew what you used to accept. That's the real flex. Not making someone regret losing you by words or attitude, but by becoming so grounded, so whole, that their absence becomes irrelevant. That's how you win with grace, without noise, without needing them to notice, just by being okay. Part 5, don't prove your worth, protect it. Your worth was never up for debate. It was never something to be negotiated, measured or begged for. It's not earned through struggle, nor lost through someone else's prøvetænkningstog. Inability to see it. Your worth is a standard, one that doesn't shift just because someone walked away. When someone chooses to leave, you don't chase, you don't plead, you don't shrink yourself, trying to fit into the space they abandoned. No, you protect your value, you honor it by standing tall, even if your heart feels like it's learning how to beat on its own again. Because love isn't about proving why you deserve to be chosen. It's about being so in tune with your own truth that only those aligned with it get to stay. Only those who see you, respect you, and reciprocate your energy are granted access. The version of you that used to overthink every word, every silence, every shift, gone. The one who used to explain themselves endlessly just to be understood, quiet now because peace doesn't need to be defended. The one who poured love into everyone else but forgot to point for refill their own cup. Reborn, wiser, softer, stronger. You didn't get left behind, you got set free, released from the cycle of proving, pleasing and performing, released from the weight of trying to be enough for someone who never saw your fullness. You're not mourning a loss, you're celebrating a rise. You're not the abandoned one, you're the awakened one, the one who finally realized you never had to prove your worth. So don't try to make them regret it with words. Make them regret it with your silence, your growth, and your peace. Because when you master the art of walking away with grace, you don't lose love, you redefine it. And in that silence, they'll hear the loudest "I've moved on" they've ever known. If you're going through heartbreak right now, remember this. You don't heal by getting revenge. You heal by becoming so whole. They wouldn't even recognize the pieces they left behind. Like this video, if you're ready to love smarter, not harder, Harmdai, subscribe for more real, deep and healing content every week. Share this with someone who needs to remember their worth again.